All right. Imagine this. Imagine your job saying, "Well, let us help you out. Let us do some math and decide how much you pay in bills each month. And then once we get that figured out, we're gonna go ahead and give you a little bit extra just so you can enjoy yourself outside of work because you do such a good job here." Imagine that. Now imagine this part. Imagine your neighbor giving you transportation, right? They have a couple cars. They just want to hand one to you because they see you don't have a car, so they give you a car. You don't owe them anything. They just figured you need a car. Imagine, imagine the government, whoever he or she is that runs it, decides, you know what, we're not gonna tax anybody. We're gonna try to make money where it can benefit everybody, not just us. So imagine they cut taxes. There's no more taxes, right? No taxes at the end of the year. There's no taxes when you buy things. There's no taxes out of your paycheck. Nothing like that. Imagine the rich giving the poor money because they don't have any. Imagine, you guys get where I'm coming from with this. So this is what we call a perfect world. When I say imagine this, imagine that. Imagine this. Imagine everybody that you don't get along with suddenly just happens to just be nice to you. So in return, you're nice back. Imagine the person you had a child with, who you're no longer with, decides, you know what, I'm gonna put my stuff to the side just so we can actually benefit the child, and then you guys can reap the benefits of enjoying life. In return, giving back and making the kid righteous, in any way. So when I did this video, I was like, what can I talk about, right? Because I'm always thinking about topics to just kind of plant seeds, right? Regardless of what the problems I'm having in my life, and whatever else I talk about. This channel was basically to make blue collar work content, right? Day in the life of a metal fabricator or welder, because that's what I do. But then I found myself like kind of venturing off a little bit, and just doing actual life stuff. So I think that's where YouTube comes into play. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that we can imagine, but for some weird reason, it doesn't happen. The reason why, I don't know. But I do believe that there's a fight every day for good, because bad exists no matter where we look at. So when we wake up, when people say have a good day, they're encouraging you to fight for a good day, right? So tomorrow, I go to work. 9 times out of 10, people are going to say good morning, and by default, I'm just like good morning, even though I'm not a morning person. I'm just morning, morning, good morning, 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 right? That's just what we do. But then we come close to the end of the day, and this is for everybody, basically in the United States. It comes close to the end of your work shift, and then you're like, oh, it's almost time to go. Can't wait to get out of work. And then you get out of work, right? Now you gotta, if you do drive, you gotta drive in traffic. You gotta drive home. You gotta hit red lights, and then you get in this mode where when you were at work, you were kind of at peace, right? And then you get out of work and you're still trying to have that good day, right? So when let's say you go to the store, you fill up your gas tank, or you get gas, because filling up your gas tank these days is like you're rich. But you fill up your gas, for example, and you pay the person at the counter and you say, okay, thank you, have a good day. So it's always having a good day, but we don't really mean it. It's just something that we just become accustomed to. So I was thinking, right, if we actually, after this video, right, and for some weird reason, you keep this mindset from here on out to the end of your days, right, to the end of your natural death, where you actually keep everything that people say to you, and you think to yourself, do they mean it? It's always a question: do they mean it? Do they mean it? Do they mean it? Right? And you can tell somebody means it, right? I mean, again, for example, I went to go get gas the other day, and I thought about this. Like, so when I paid for the gas, lady at the counter was like, "Have a good day." She didn't make no eye contact, nothing like that. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, she don't mean it, right? But then I go to the store, the grocery store, and the lady at the cash register, she was like, "Oh, thank you, have a good day." And you know, when somebody looks at you in the eye and says, "Have a good day," they kind of mean it, right? But are their intentions good, or are they just following the protocol? Right? Protocol meaning like, you know, saying what sounds good or saying what's normal these days, right? So, thank you, have a good day, how you doing, good morning, have a good night. What else is there? Just a lot of everyday things, right? And in the American culture, it's always like hurry up and wait. It's always don't be late. It's always work hard. It's always, you know, basically do what you can to a minimum. And that's pretty much about it. That's why I hope this video reaches the right person or persons that just stops and thinks, right? If you're sitting and laying in bed and you're watching this video, or if you're on your lunch break, whatever, take the time out to actually like live life, right? Right? Be in the moment of life, because you're in your body. You can't escape your body, right? So I mean I don't have a specific topic about this whole subject, but I want to like plant the seed to where your awareness goes up like 1,000%, because I believe that once you do that, you get to see from the outside looking in, right? You get to see from the airplane looking down at the stadium, and that's important. That's probably one of the most important things in life, is being aware and knowing what's what, right? Not being paranoid, right? But knowing what's what, knowing what's real and what's fake, and with that you can make your decisions. That's where your personality becomes into play. Is what you think and act on what you think you know. I think it is, if that makes sense. In today's world, right? Imagine if you have, I mean, I don't know what age group my channel or this video reaches, but I'm going to assume like the 90s era, right? And for some weird reason, when we always look back to like past things, good past things, then we always just kind of stay stuck in that mode. And once you like reminisce on that, you get like this peaceful feeling, right? And that's just the past. It's always the past that leaves us stuck, right? And I was thinking in the past, I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 1992. When 94, 96, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, around that time, I was young, of course, but if I had, like, imagine if you lived your childhood to how you live your adult life now, like back in whatever era you live in, 80s or 90s. You know how many people would be happy right now? You know how many problems we wouldn't even care about? You know how many like people that we wouldn't even know, and how many people we would actually know, and like would our personalities be different? Because we could be in, you can live in the same area for the day you're born to the day, to the last of your day, right? But are you always going to stay stuck in that happiness era, right? Or or are you not? So I mean, it's rare that somebody lives in the same place, same neighborhood, same house, and you get like this. You you can't. I don't know. Like you can't stay. Well, I believe you can't stay happy forever. Why? Because of how society is today. We ruin everything. the humans just ruin everything. So take us and then compare us to um, wildlife in Africa. Lions, zebras, giraffes, they all live in the same. Their society does not change. The only thing that changes is life and death, right? Life and death. That's the only thing that changes. Everything else stays the same. It's gonna turn light and day. It's gonna rain. It's gonna be dry. The animals come and go. The environment doesn't change, right? There's not like another weird animal coming and just changing everything. It doesn't start that way. Everything stays the same, right? Now some things may go extinct, but that's just because of its natural habitat. Now go back to us humans. We change and mess up everything. Everything that we walk and touch, we mess it up, and I don't know why. I mean, yes, it has to do with society, and has to do with environment, but outside of that, I don't know why. Maybe you guys know. Maybe you guys have an idea. Leave it in the comment section. But if everything was how I said it was and how we imagined in the beginning of this video, nothing would change. But like I said, we change everything. We ruin everything. Um, I don't know, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because of we're forever evolving, but maybe in the worst way possible. Right? We discover new things, and we make things up as we go, and we just create this whole world outside of this whole world. Right? Technology is changing. Um, for example, look back between the '60s or '50s till now. Right? Cars, transportation is changing. Housing is changing. The way we live and think is changing. Um, Things are getting smaller but bigger, meaning like when you back then when you wanted information, you go on this big ass computer. Now our computers are our phones, from big to small. So it's like at what point are things just gonna stay the same and evolve into something good? And no, that's not for convenience, because convenience is what kills us. It puts us into deeper debt. It puts us puts us away distance wise. Um, it gets us socially awkward. People can't hold conversations. Our attention spans is going is I mean, it's almost like a fish at this point. So I don't know, maybe somebody or a large group of people out there that can finally like put things together and have things in place to just where some part in America is just that. And I mean that by everything I imagined in beginning this video. This is a weird video I gotta make, but it's needed. So hopefully the seed is planted. I'm gonna see how much I got left in this video. Let's see. I'm about 15 minutes in. I imagine like everything was just smooth and good, and you know, but I think the reason why everything's chaotic because um, status symbol and money kind of gets in the way of that. If money wasn't a thing, we would all be rich. If money wasn't a thing, we would all be rich. Mm. So I don't know. There may be some weird pauses. There may be some weird pauses in this video, but I don't know. I think it's something to think about. And then when you think about it, it's something to put into action, right? So when you go to your job, when you wake up, you're making your coffee. Try not to just be part of the program. Right? Be in your own program. Don't be part of the program. You know, don't be like everybody else. And it takes one person to influence the next person, who can influence the next person, who can influence a group of people, who that group of people can influence a larger group. You know, everything starts with one. So hopefully I'm the first one. I mean, hopefully this video reaches a lot of people. If it doesn't, that's cool. I know I'm gonna get at least one view. So, you know, or I might get a million views. Who knows? Yes, the goal ultimately is to, yes, get paid from YouTube, but that's just the benefits that I would reap if this video does surface. So I think I'm gonna end this video. I'm not gonna tell you have a good day. I'm not gonna tell you, you know, have a good one, but I am gonna say, if you have some type of influence, and you know that influence could reach out, and with obviously good intentions, right? Then do that. That's why you're here. That's part of the reason why you're here. That's why we're all here. It's like a jungle, right? We got certain things we have to do to live, but it shouldn't be like outside of the program. And by program, I mean just doing, you know, being part of the rush hour, being part of, you know, the Saturday, the Friday and Saturday night group who go out after, you know, because it's the weekend. The program of where, you know, you hate Mondays or where you hate your job. That's you being part of the program. So disqualify yourself. You know, I'm like, you know, because I'm making this video and because I put a lot of thought into this video as I went. I think I'm disqualified from the program. So I encourage you to do that, right? You don't have to be like everybody else, but also don't be weird to where now nobody wants to associate yourself. Nobody wants to associate themselves with you. So it's a weird balance, right? And that's where you can decide, like, you know, how people perceive you. Not that it matters, but I'm just saying, you know, to be socially acceptable, to where, you know, you can make some type of influence. But, you know, yeah, I'll leave that for another video. So for now, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna let you think. I'm gonna give you some time. And don't try not to have a good day. Try to have a good year. Right now, I mean, next year we can revisit, right? But yeah, so I'm gonna end this now, but you're obviously gonna get out this video. You're probably gonna go back to scrolling on Facebook or Instagram or doing what you do. But, you know, I think at some point during the week you might go back to a certain thought that probably hit you in this video, and you can go with that. All right? Peace.